Okay, we're starting the test now, so you have to keep up with me, don't fall behind. If you're not sure what you're doing, still just keep going, and then when we get to the end we'll see how we've done. Okay, so indices, standard form and surds. Question 1, simplify 4 to the power of a half. Well, power of half just means square root, so this is equal to the same as the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is 2 because 2 squared is 4. Okay, C. 1 3/4 squared. Well, first of all, I've got to write 1 3/4 as a fraction, just an improper fraction. Well, a whole one is 4/4, so that's 4/4 plus 3/4 is 7/4, which we need to square. And we can square both those things. So 7 squared is 49, 4 squared is 16. Let's see if we can simplify it, and I don't think we can, so that's it. Question 2, work out 4 to the minus 1. Well, to the minus 1 just means you write it as 1 over 4 to the power of 1. Well, 4 to the power of 1 is just 4. Done. Question B, 3/4 to the minus 2. Well, to the minus, if it's just a number on its own, you do 1 over. But if it's already a fraction, then the minus means just flip it over, and then we're still going to have the squared. So that's going to become flipping it over to get rid of the minus thing. It becomes 4 over 3 squared. And then we square those things. So 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9. And see if we can simplify it. We can't, although we could maybe write it as 1 7/9. Okay, right in standard form. 0.000731. Well, it's a small number. I know a number in standard form has two parts. A number times 10 to the power of something, well, it's small, so it'll be 10 to the minus. The number here has to be between 1 and 10, so I can put my decimal point here to make it between 1 and 10, so that makes it 7.31. And the number here is how many places I need to move the decimal point to make it 7.31. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 to the minus 4. Done. Next question. 3.74 times 10 to the 5. Well, it's a positive power, so it's going to be a big number. So I'm going to rewrite the number down here. 3.74. It's going to get bigger, so I need zeros here to make the number bigger. Don't know how many yet. So that number there tells me I'm going to move the decimal point 5 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to end up there, which gives you the number 374 000 3000. So that's 374,000, and that's that page done. Question 4. A little bit different than the one on the test, but it's the same thing. It involves multiplying numbers in standard form. A is 9 times 10 to the 16 times, and B is a third times 10 to the 7. Now, we haven't really seen a third, but it's just a number. But although it's not a number in standard form, it's still just a number. We want to write this out and leave it in standard form. So A times B, well, we can times these numbers in any order we like. So that's going to be 9 times a third times 10 to the 16 times 10 to the 7. Well, 9 times a third, well, that's saying a third of 9, or 9 times a third, and that's 3. And powers of 10, we've got 10 to the power of 16, 10 to the power of 7, well, we're multiplying with power, so we add 16 and 7, becomes 23. Done. Question 5 involves a divide, so it's very similar to one that's on the test. We're doing A divided by B, so I'm going to write it with a fraction 1.6 times 10 to the minus 3 divided by 4 times 10 cubed. 4 times 10 cubed. Now I'm going to do them things separately. So I'm going to do 1.6 divided by 4. So how many? Well, that's 0.4, because 16 divided by 4 is 4, but it's 1.6, not 16, so rather than being 4, it's 0.4. And then we've got 10 to the minus 3 divided by 10 cubed. Now remember, when we're dividing here, we take away the number here. So we've got minus 3, take away 3. So we're starting at minus 3, take away another 3, means you've got times 10 to the minus 6. Now that's not in standard form because this number isn't between 1 and 10, so let's make it number between 1 and 10 by making it bigger, which means we're going to have to make this number even smaller. There's our final answer. Okay, next question. Root 7 to the power of 6 is 7 to the power of what? In other words, what is n? Well, the square root of 7 is the same as 7 to the half, so that's saying the same as 7 to the half to the 6, or when you've got powers of powers, you times, so half times 6, half of 6 is 7 cubed, so n is 3. Okay, work out 8 to the minus 2/3. Well, there's a few ways of doing it. One, really, is to sort out the minus first. Minus means you do 1 over. So it's going to be 1 over 8 to the 2/3. So let's have a look at that. So first of all, we need to deal with, let's sort out this 8 to the 2/3. Well, that means doing 8 to the 3rd squared, because 2/3 is 1/3 times 2. We're splitting up between the 1 over and the 2, because when we times 2 by a third, we get 2/3, so they're the same. Well, a third, 8 to the 3rd is the cube root of 8, and then we're going to square it, and the cube root of 8 is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and then we still need to square it. 2 squared, answer is 4. Okay, question 8. Write square root of 75 in the form a root b. A and b, we're told, have to be integers, whole numbers. So in other words, they're just saying simplify the square root of 75. So what do we do when we're simplifying surd? We look for square numbers that go in 75. Apart from 1, 1's pointless, we go nowhere. 4 doesn't go into there. 9, no. 16, no. 25 definitely does. It's just 3 lots of 25. So this is root 25 times root 3, because 3 25 is 75, and we know the square root of 25 is 5, so it just turns into 5 root 3, which is how we want it to look. Okay, last question. Rationalise 15 over the square root of 5. Well, when we rationalise, we times the top and the bottom by the surd on the bottom, which gives us that. Now 15 root 5, well, I don't really know, so I'm just going to write 15 root 5. Root 5 times root 5 is 5. That's the whole point of square root. When you square it, you get the number. That's what square root means. And then here, we've rationalised it, but we can simplify this. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and then we've still got the root 5, and that's it, simplified, and we've done the whole thing. So you should now have kept up with that and see how you've done.